Hello. So we're live then. For a change, why not? I've been tagged in. There's a thing going around with a lot of the kind of global YouTubers community at the moment. Your top. I mean, there is a bit of spin. You can change it. One or two beer tubers have changed it, done this, done that. My top 5 favourite beer styles. So I've never really thought about it in the past. I know what I obviously go to, but sometimes beers come and into your, glass or can or bottle or whatever you're drinking, and you thought that's really good, and then you've not had too many of them, and then that was good, and then you go back to what you normally drink and all that sort of jazz. So I've been racking my brains the last kind of half an hour, done a beer review, so I can sit and have a chin wag and stuff. Right, let me get the comments up before I go any further, so at least I can see who I'm avoiding. How do we do this? Oh yes, refresh. Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Can I find myself? I don't know. Oh, there I am. Okay. I found myself. Turn the sound off. Done. Right. That's all that nonsense out of the way. Oh, the Beer Patrol. Check him out for sure. Yeah. Average Joe is so. Right. Sip of the beer for the talking man. Before I get into it, I'm drinking this from Loca Poly. It's, as you can see, Cascade Zeus Pale Ale, 5.5%, 65 IBUs. They're out of North Wales. Thanks, Rob. Done a review of that earlier, so that'll be coming up when I can be bothered to post it. So, another sip. Yeah. Right, let's crack on with this then. I'm going to do it from like 5 to 1. Anyone who knows me well probably knows what the last 2 are going to be, but I'm going to start with the 5th one. So sours. Never thought I'd be saying that 3 years ago, but when I first started getting really into, when I first started reviewing, I wasn't a lover of sours. And they kind of slowly crept up, and depends on what company you're with, you're in tap rooms or whatever. And I was like, yeah, they're having one. You know what? And like, it's different. Like them at first, you get to the end of the drink, and it's not too bad, quite refreshing, blah blah blah. So I mean, like Berliner Weiss's sours, that kind of thing. So a lot of these beers now are getting real kind of flavoured and like raspberry and chocolate, and it's like, what? It's just crazy. Raspberry and chocolate flavoured kind of. It's just crazy the way beers have gone in the last just few years. Crazy. Excuse me, especially here in the UK. I mean, it's obviously mad in America anyway with beers, but it's really caught on in Europe. Quite impressive. Another beer style that I've not had a lot of, but every time I do try one, I really enjoy it, and that's Dunkelweisses. Probably owe a little bit of that kind of thing to Peter, the clearest drinker. I've got more interested in German kind of beers in general, really. Not that I've reviewed many or anything like that, but I'm certainly more intrigued by them now than I was before I met Peter, to be honest with you. Although I always liked wheat beers and stuff like that, and pilsners, but didn't drink too many. Yeah, I'm a little bit more curious about them now. So yeah, that's number 4. Number 3 then, porters. Porters, I know it's kind of, I like the imperial porters. I know it makes no sense whatsoever being porters, because generally back in the day, whenever they were, the paupers' drink choice. Well, not choice, what they could afford. Then the stouts were a little bit more pricey for the the posh people with silly hats and stuff like that back in the day, you know. So yeah, but I do like. There's something about Imperial Porter that is just different again for my palate and what I think than the Imperial Stouts. Again, not had too many. Probably one of my favourite ones I've ever had Imperial Porter wise is Victory at Sea by Ballast Point. I had that before they got taken over. Not that any of that matters to me anyway. I don't give a monkeys. But that was a fantastic beer. It was a large 22-ounce bottle, bomber as they call them, and yeah, that was amazing. And they've done like 2 or 3 other versions since. I think they've done the mint version. I think they've got a coconut version out in the last 6 months, something like that. And I think they've done 3 versions from the original, but whatever. Good beer. Of course, following on from that, number 2, you guessed that, Imperial Stouts. Although I drink probably more kind of just bog standard stouts in the range of say 4 to 6% ABV, I do like the Imperial Stouts. And especially these days, you get these flavoured stouts. Again, like Joe, he loves his like coconut stuff like that infused. Any kind of beers really, but primarily I think they're stouts he likes with coconut added. So, and I kind of get that. Chocolate, but I like the sweet stouts. Okay, there's a lot of adjuncts in some of these kind of Imperial Stouts and what have you. Yeah, there's a few comments from Joe. I'll read them in a minute. I'll just get through this and I'll go through all that sort of thing. And I've got a few other kind of styles that I like, but are they in my top 5? But I'm going to say them anyway. Whatever. What was I going to say now? Yeah, Imperial Stouts. There's a lot of adjuncts in them now, and there's some really wacky kind of flavourings, and you even get like ice cream with the, you know, the soft serve stuff. I think on Apollo do that. They had them at Hop City a couple of weeks ago or last week, and I didn't go for that at all. It's just there's so many hoppy beers that I wanted to try, and I didn't have enough time. So, but yeah, I've seen some photographs on Instagram, bloody blah, online, and been amazing. So, but yeah, is it a gimmick? Is it kind of, I don't know. But yeah, one of my favourite beers from them guys is the Noah. The original's good, but the hazelnut cupcake one was amazing. I mean, the original is an Imperial Stout brewed with natural flavours added, blah, blah, blah. Is that all it says? I thought it said more than that. There you go. But yeah, they've done the hazelnut cupcake version. This is all live anyway, so I haven't done no research. But yeah, that kind of beers, them kind of sweet beers, they just get me. Adjuncts, people, oh, got adjuncts in it. Don't drink it then. I like them. Right, done. Lastly, IPA. That's where I'm at. I'm a bit of a hophead. I love my IPAs. West Coast, New England. I'm not really a lover of the English or the British style IPA with British hops. They're okay. I started off from them many years ago, probably, oh God, how long ago now? Probably about 13 years ago, I started out with all the kind of cask versions of IPA, going to beer festivals, and I really liked them. Still like the odd one or two now, but my palate is completely and utterly changed. Of course, it's going to in 13 years or whatever it is. It's just going to. And I went from that to cask, then to West Coast IPA. I think my first American kind of hoppy beer, I wouldn't say it's an IPA, but it's either Lagunitas IPA, which I had in a Wetherspoon somewhere for the first time, or might even, yeah, I think it was a Wetherspoon. I was like, what is that? That just opened my taste buds to a whole new flavour, and it blew me away. And for me, the English style of IPA has kind of, since that time, it's not been the same since. But then in the last 5 years, it's probably not even 5 years, three or 4 years, you've got these haze for days, unclear for years, cloudy IPA. And as much as I love them, that they're another level. It's new. It's becoming more the craze now. Milkshake IPAs, even, you know, and things like that now going crazy. They are amazing. They ruin your palate. They're great, but they ruin your palate for other styles you used to like, I think. But I still like going back to a nice West Coast IPA. Especially now when you taste buds, especially in the UK, we don't get so many of them now. It might be slightly different in America, and maybe not. I don't know. I'll check the comments in a minute, Joe. Don't worry. And Rod J, hello. Right, Rod J, Drunken One. Wow, look at all these people. 5 years. What? Weird. One more sip. Not going to go into that beer because I've done a review and you'll see that. I'm sure you'll be eagerly awaiting. So yeah, West Coast styles. My palate isn't as used to them now as when I first started drinking them, because of these bloody juice bombs that are coming out. So when I do get one, it's just, to me, you can't beat it. You get that kind of like biscuity bready malt thing going on as well. Just really good. So yeah, so that's my number one beer style. So that's all five. Other beers I like rye beers, that kind of sweetness that you get in some rye beer. I mean, it's a bit of a kind of you love them or hate them kind of style, where it's IPAs or whatever. I mean, some people call them rye beers or rye IPAs. But yeah, I do like those. I'm just going to actually go off camera, and because I was going through all this earlier. Barley wines, of course. Don't drink enough of them, but I've always enjoyed them when I do try them. I do like my Belgian beers. I know Rod loves his Belgian quads and stuff like that. I've had a lot of Belgian beers before Untapped, and I didn't know what they were, but I've always, even when I was kind of the end of the night drunk, down to a local Belgian bar, and they've got like 100 different bottles they did have, and they're shut down now, but they might reopen. We'll see. I always used to go in there. I had a skinful of lager, like we all did, I guess, and they're open late. So yeah, let's have a Belgian beer. Wow, it's 7%, and it's like stuff like that. It's like 7%. Another style, brown ales. I've always enjoyed them when I've had one. Just having a quick go through on Untapped listings that I've had. Hefeweizens, again, I don't mind them, more of a summer thing. Then you go to IPAs, is about, I don't know, I've gone through all the IPAs anyway, you know it's IPAs, well, I've gone through, and there's different styles, Imperial, International IPA, it's like, what's that? Like sub-styles. Pilsners, yeah. I've been getting into the Lambecs, that's more in the kind of, you know, and that kind of thing, the creeks and that sort of thing, more through other people I know that like them, and it kind of passes on to you kind of thing. I will get to the comments. I'm just not on the page at the moment. Pale ales, I drink a lot of pale ales. Yeah, Pilsners, we've done that. Pumpkin beers, don't really like them. They're all right, but there's too many beers to drink other than pumpkin beers. Scotch ales I like, or wheat heavies, whatever you want to call it. They're nice. Smoked beers, I'm getting more into those the last year or so. That's about it. winter ales, winter warmers, wit beers, whatever. Right, so that's that. Let's go into the comments, get this page back up. Right, so okay, he's excited. Cheers, Joe. Yeah, Dunkelweisens are low-key style that I tend to overlook too. Need to change that. Yeah, I mean, I don't drink enough of them, but when I do drink them, really good. Coconut never, blah, blah, blah. Honourable mentions. I didn't think about throwing more than 5 out there, but it's a good idea. Just throw me in prison. I've done something wrong. You know what I mean? It's just I didn't know how to approach this thing, especially doing it live. So it's like, you know. Yeah, the Noah, Joe, if you can get them. I mean, you get one of their cans. I think Redbeard done a review of it. I think it was about, what, 4 or 5 months ago. It's in a big kind of weird flashy can. I don't think we got those here. I can't remember what it was called, but you might have put it down at the bottom of the comments. I'm at the top at the moment, so let me try something now. Right, done that. Ooh, yes, hello, drunken one. Yeah, I made it. Hello, Rod. Hello, matey. Yeah, they're just having a little convo. Hey, Rod. Hey, Rod. Hey, go. Hey, Rod. Hey, Joe. Ho, ho, ho. He totally did. Blah 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 blah. Good evening, crowd. Oh, Beard. Hello, mate. How you doing? How you doing, Brett? I just got home. Cool. That's it. Right, we're up to date with the comments. Hooray! Right. So, who am I going to tag in this thing to get to know your favourite beer tubers or beer tubers and getting to know other beer tubers as well, whatever. Well, apparently it was 5 people I didn't know, so I'm gonna. I don't know if everyone's gonna watch this or whatever. It doesn't matter if people do it or not really, but it'd be good. So just no kind of just random. I've done 3, and then I have to try and rack my brains for. Well, I've got 1, so I've got to think of one other after. So, Jake O'Beer, Robert Derbyshire, Hopsy, Stuart Pickard, the Ginger Ale Ale Trail. So that'd be a good one. If he'd done one, trying to understand him would be quite interesting. No, I love him to death. He's good. As you're watching Brett, you're in, mate. I don't know if you've been tagged before. But I was tagged from Rod J BeerVentures. Check him out for sure. There's everyone in the comments. I don't know if everyone can read all these comments, but they're pretty much all beer tubers. So get on to them, subscribe to them, all that mushy stuff. That's done. I'm trying to think who else. One more. I'll go James, Rampant Lion Beer Reviews. I don't know where he's residing at the moment. He just seems to always be on a plane or whatever. So if you get time, if you see this, James, if you fancy doing it, do it. If you don't, whatever. What is? It is what it is. So, any more comments? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, cool. So Brett's going to do that from Beardy Beer Reviews, so check him out as well. One more sip, and then I'm going to clear off. Anyway, thanks to everyone, subscribers, all that kind of thing, to watching over the last few years. I've not been doing that long, but really do appreciate your support. Kind of spacing out the beer reviews. I'm not doing one every day, doing perhaps 2, maybe 3 a week, something like that. But I've got a fair backlog, so I might do a week of just like one every day just to clear them a little bit, and then back to maybe 3 a day. I've got so many beer reviews about. I've probably got a dozen or so just lined up, that just releasing them every few days. Just to, there's so many beer reviewers out there. You don't want to watch the same one all the time. So especially me. Yeah. So that's it. 4 viewers, peak of 5, boom. Well, that sounded like someone in the kitchen. Excuse me. You've got no ears now. Right, I'm going to clear off. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next review. Cheers.